Well, hello everyone. It's a wonderful day, isn't it? Wonderful day to be out here in Minnesota. I went to North Dakota once. I was out there, or maybe I was watching the Packers play, the Vikings, or at the Bates Story, where it was a watching that game. Let's see what God has to say today. You know, sometimes I talk about how it's not one single voice. They have different voices, different. It's in my mind though. Outlook not good. Yes, they like me. They love me. They think I'm great. God thinks I'm wonderful. They say, Steve, you're just so wonderful. We love you so much. That's why we picked you. Because you're the wonderful person. Yeah, they're altering what I say on that one. I don't, because there's all these different levels of how God alters me, shapes me. I don't know if it can be explained. I have all these like mini conversations about how should you talk to this certain person. How should you engage with this person? Especially, let's say, people of different faiths and different belief systems, or if they don't believe, they say there's no God. And I say, well, God says, just believe something. That's basically kind of their attitude. They don't. That's what they tell me. They don't care what belief system someone's a part of. Should we talk about? Yeah. So I watched a video about a guy who has encounters with UFOs, aliens, all that. And before I used to think it's some kind of like lower astral demonic activity or something. I don't know. I wasn't sure what it was exactly. Now I think it's the God within us. They can show up as whatever. But see, it's not all negative. Like they said, the Arcturians or whoever were very nice and helpful. And they said, we want to help you with your life. And it's like, that's what God basically said to me. But then they also put you through the demonic torment. So it's like every belief system has its ups and downs. It's good and it's evil. It's, you know, this is the good faction. That's the bad faction. It's like that just tends to emerge or happen. Let's see. Should we talk about my life a little bit, or talk to my dad for like 5 minutes today? It's a little frustrating because he says he wants to help, but then he doesn't want to do anything. So it's a little frustrating. And now here comes some doggies. Let's see what happens. Hope you're having a great day.
Oh, thanks. We are. Lefty here. Hey, hey.
What a beautiful dog you have there.
Oh, thank you.
Hi there. Hi.
Hey.
Well, they're friendly though. They're friendly. They just want to be friends.
Yeah. Have a good one, man.
Yeah, have a great day. Yeah, there's a difference between dogs that are friendly, but they're overexcited versus the dogs that are aggressive. So just watch out for the aggressive ones, I'd say. I'm overdressed again. I get out in this ravine, I get too hot. Yeah, so they don't think I should keep talking about my family, but other than they're not being helpful, supportive. I know I mentioned this over again. My dad did bad dentistry on me. And dentists, they don't have an attitude of, let's help him. So it's like I saw this video where it's like if you're famous, like doctors will call you up and want to help you. if you're on the bottom of society, you're basically kind of screwed. And my parents could easily help me. They just don't care. And I had a dream about this. Because I believe God gives people dreams. But they change my dreams somehow. I don't know. And so I had this dream last night or this morning. Whoa. Where I was in my room at the house. And I was looking out there and someone was trying to start a fire across the road. And then my dad had a boat and my mom was like dousing it with gasoline, trying to light it on fire. And I'm like, I could use those rod and reels. I mean, so it's like my mother wants to just burn everything. She'd throw all my stuff away. They remodeled. As soon as they got me out, they just got rid of all my stuff, remodeled the room. Like try to pretend I didn't exist. So they don't want to even give me a shirt or anything. They don't go, oh, do you want any of this stuff? They just say, get new stuff. Go get your own. Throw all my stuff away. So a lot of people would say that's cruel. I mean, they're not, by my standards, they're evil. That's what I'd say. But God doesn't agree with anything I say pretty much on that one, other than they messed up and they should have corrected it. But they said they don't care. So I think that's kind of the paradox. If my parents cared, they wouldn't mess me up and then they would help me. But if they don't care, they mess me up and they don't want to help. And they don't have any problem with making my life much worse. They don't care. My mother likes to drink and my dad likes to make excuses. He says, well, I'd help, but your mother, da-da-da. And I go, well, then get her help. Well, she doesn't want help. I go, I want help. Well, it's not that I want help. It's just I want things to work out. And sometimes you need help. It's like God says, yeah, no one wants to go to the dentist. They just want good teeth. Nobody's like, yes, I love going to the dentist. Going to the dentist is so wonderful, isn't it? Yeah. There's lots of other people had bad dentistry done. I don't know how bad it was and how they got it corrected, but my family didn't care, and they put me into mental wards, jails. It just goes on and on, just dumping me. Yeah, I was on my hands. That's why God. They said there's no reason, but I was saying a lot of prayers. My life was going in the wrong direction. I mentioned that my heart was hurting. My heart was in. But if they did any scans at the hospital, they'd say, no, your heart's fine. So I don't know if that was infections or God doing that. I always wonder about that. It's like, some of the healings, like how is it? But God also says you don't know what's going on. Maybe there is something, but the way they always phrase it is there's no miracles, there's no stuff. But I get woken up to my bed getting kicked and touched, and when I lay down, they're right there with me, holding my hand. They'll move my body. I say God talk. They say God doesn't talk to anyone. This is weird because God's not an entity. That's the weird thing. It's not an entity sitting somewhere. That's how I say it's like it's in us, around us, surrounds us. It's like we have a feeling about it, but we can't be totally explained. So like atheists want everything explained and proved. And it's like, I don't think you can explain God, and I don't think you can prove God. I think you just say it makes sense to believe in it for me. So, and that's what belief systems are. Just that's how God phrases. People want a belief system. Let's talk about another dream. They say keep talking about belief systems, but they don't care. I had another dream where I played, the other goalie got all the love and all the attention, and like I'm just unprepared. And they said, why did you even play goalie? I don't know. because I didn't originally say, oh, I want to be goalie. But people wanted me to be goalie, and then they just kind of assumed that I wanted to be goalie. But I was just good at it because I have good reaction time and whatnot. So lightning speed reaction time. I just throw stuff up in the air and catch it. Why not? I wasn't that great back in high school though, but had bad equipment errors, and that caused problems. And that's the problem if you're a goalie. Your equipment needs to be really good. Or I guess with any sport, need good equipment there. And then I had another dream. This one is really kind of weird, because God says we don't have a time machine. We'd send you back, because I said, God, I just want my life back. And they said, we'd send you back if we had a time machine. So they gave me a dream where it's like Marty punches his girlfriend and says, get in the, we're putting you in the time machine. Something like that. We're, going back. We're going to get this woman and me back in time and then have a good relationship or whatever it is. Because that's how I see it. Like, there was an opportunity where she said we'd get together and talk. And I thought finally, and I had been praying about this, and I'd meditated on it. I had asked a psychic I know about it. And they all said back, this was August of 2004, that she would talk. And I said, God can get her to the door, but she doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to do it. And she's surrounded by bad people. They have no problem threatening me or threatening my life or telling lies about me, and the police will always side with them. The police, judges, lawyers, they said a woman would have to tell a lot of lies to get punished, so they can pretty much tell any lie they want. That's why I say it's like you need a good morality system in your society, because government sucks. Basically, I don't like government, because government is, there's a saying about, George Carlin said, it's a big club and you're not in it. It's the same club they used to beat you over the head with. I don't like government. And if someone asks me who'd I vote for, and I go, the lesser of two evils. Two people I don't want. And God gave me dreams about that though. They had one dream where Trump came in and into the house, and I don't know if he handed my parents or like $10 million, because I kept saying that I want $10 million. And I wish, God says I wouldn't like it, but it's like one of my wishes is like some famous celebrity or something would just say, here, let's help Steve. Someone who like is actually in some kind of position. And I mentioned they can let me have a chat with someone in the mind interface. Like have a chat with Joe Rogan. They usually don't have a lot of good things to say about these people. And there is a saying about meeting your heroes and whatnot, so because everyone's got problems, everyone's got issues, flaws. Yeah, and I say, like, OJ can do some bad. I even had, this is how stupid a conversations I have. I said, OJ, a guy that everyone believes is a murderer, could probably go in and shop at those places that I've been banned from for just telling people have a nice day. Because I hear that on the radio, like some guy, like they did it stupidly. Some guy's like, he was giving candy out or something. Police went out. I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea. But they also had police come after me for juggling for kids. So, and saying have a nice day to people and like anything you can think of. At that Bentleyville, I was saying Merry Christmas to so many people. Most people don't care. It's just, I say it's always like the one person who gets angry. you know, you could say like, yeah, it doesn't, let's just say it doesn't take much to wreck someone's life or day. How about that? I think everyone gets that. I don't know how people are reacting to this video or any of my videos. Other than, you know, I kind of say the same stuff like God says, how is this helping you? They always kind of bring it back to that. Like they said, the problem is I don't want to do the things that will help me get what I want in life. Because I felt, in my opinion, felt overwhelmed. God doesn't, they don't take excuses, and you can't win a debate against God unless they let you. That's kind of, you know, it's like, I'm using they don't like analogies, but I do. So I said, it's like, you know, you're not getting into a ring with Mike Tyson unless he lets you, know, unless he's going to let you win. You know, it's, I think the Bible had a lot of stories about that. You can't win against God, you know, he's, you know, because Islam meant submission to God, you know, you're not going to beat God, you're not going to win an argument. Let's see, what else can I talk about here? They just say spirits, gods, whatever. What God do you believe in? I know I've mentioned that. It's like, I don't think anyone is certain about their beliefs. I think everyone has doubts about things they believe. That's why, because I talked to God about, you know, they said you can't wreck anyone's belief systems. And I don't, either they don't know the future or they don't want to tell, type of thing. And they will give psychic information to people to help them. But they're not a slot machine for winning in life, I guess. I don't know what to... They don't care. Basically, they say they don't care, but they say we care. So it's kind of like, you know, we care about life. We care about our life. So God cares about our lives. But if... no, don't do that. It's like, yeah, it's like the Willy Wonka, where he's like, you know, no, don't do that, because but he knows they're going to do whatever they want, type of thing. I thought that Willy Wonka was an analogy to God. Let's see what God says. They just said I can talk about it if I want to. Because this is kind of like my little time here where they don't say anything really mean to me here when I'm out doing this. As soon as I turn this off, though, it will be back onto the torment. But they said they have to do it that way. Because if they do it the loving way, the positive way, then I'm just going to feel bad for God. I'm just going to feel bad. Like I'm letting God down. I'm letting people down. And they don't want that. They don't want me to feel like that. So they'd rather give me a hard time, because then I don't sit there and feel bad. It's more like a frustration. It's more like that I'm, you know, I say that God can kind of put a fire under someone's butt, you know, get moving. They can wake people. That's what I like to try to explain to people, is like God can, there's a lot of phenomenon that people explain certain ways, like getting up right before your alarm clock goes off. And I say, yeah, that's God or the spirit within. So if you want to get up, usually that's how they phrase it. They'll help you get up. They'll give you the energy you need to get through the day or whatever it is, or wake up. The spirit within. Let's see what we got here for today. Oh, we're at 19 minutes. Should I ask God to do some channeling for us? Because they did this last night. I'm trying to think what we channeled last night. We were doing some channeling. God is having fun with me, because they'll do that every now and then, have fun with me. It's not all negative. It's not all boot camp. Let's just ask God to do some channeling. I am God. I am am Satan. I am everything that exists. I am good, I am evil, I am wonderful to you. I love everyone, I hate everyone, I am everything and nothing all at once. I am everything you want and everything you hate. I am everything and everything at once. They don't agree. If I asked them about that, there was they basically were quoting this I can't even pronounce it, Bhagavad Gita. Inagata Davida, baby. Like the Hindu text where Krishna said something, I am everything, I'm nothing. Something like that. They were kind of quoting that. They just use what our knowledge and then just amplify it. Like, can God make a spelling error? It's like, well, can we? Because if I'm channeling, I might mess up, and I know I mentioned this in another video, but why not? It's fun to talk about. Is they'll have me type something out, like it's channeled. So that it's channeled, that means I'm just sitting back watching it happen. And then they'll say, do you want to type that out? Because people, like, I don't, no. They said, then delete it. They say, they always say, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know. But they also say, you're not solving anything in the comment section there. So, but people, can I mention that? Let's see. Yeah, in the kinesiology religion, they don't realize it's a religion, a belief system. They think they have the truth, but a lot of religions are like that. They think they're, God bless you, ma'am.
I had an easy place, so.
Well, I hope you're having a great day.
I am. It's lovely out.
Let's see what we're at. 22 minutes. I think most people are nice, but you're also not going to get in any deep conversations or that's harder to do with people, I think. Yeah, no one got training, because one of my jokes is I didn't get a memo for this one. And God says there's no memo up here either. Yeah, they keep it real simple. I don't, yeah, should I dare talk about that? They say no. There's a nice little water fountain down here. Flowing, wonderful water. We love water, folks. We gotta have water. They said I can talk about how God would explain to me what my body needs. Like, I don't need to eat all this meat. But they said your body can handle it, but it doesn't need it. But people eat what they want, not what their body is saying they need. Because at one point, I called it during the Enlightenment phase. They had it so I didn't really need to eat much. But they said, we're going to still have you eat. Because we don't want people to think where you live, something's wrong. Yeah, it's amazing how people can't pick up on any signs about what's going on. They just cannot pick up on anything. And even if you try to tell them, it usually doesn't get through. What you're dealing with, what you're going through. I don't think there's anyone on this planet that can relate what I'm going through. Because most people will say, hang in there and stuff like that. And I go, that's not what I want to do, though. I don't want to hang in there. I just can't. And God's not going to let me hang in there. They don't like that. God's not yammering down on everyone all the time. They're not hearing God's voice all day long, every day, waking them up. But it's not like it's not like the God of a religion or anything. It's not. hammering him down and talking to his wife, and he gets very sassy. Stephen does not like God very much. He gets very sassy with God and says, God, I want it done my way. Everyone says that. Is there a fun thing I can talk about with God? Think about it. Some fun thing. The mind interface, folks. I love talking about that. How at one point, I can say that, can I? Yeah, I thought I was having a conversation psychically with someone. They probably said don't say who. You can. They said it would make me look ridiculous, but whatever. Okay, I thought it was because they play off our beliefs, and so someone said, "Oh, Trump is very psychic." So I thought that I got through to him psychically. You know, we can't. God gets through to people, but I can't put an image in someone's mind or something. God can do it, and then make it look like they got psychic information. But there's a lot of other people that have said they have experienced something like that. But I say it's same with the remote viewing. It's like, I know they weren't receptive to this. A lot of people think that Ouija boards are opening a portal to hell. It's opening up a portal to hell. I don't know. I just think that God's like, okay, you want to mess around with this stuff? We don't think you should. That's kind of their attitude. We don't think this is helping you. See, that's why they kind of have like negative entities, come after people, at least in their belief system, because they don't want them messing around with stuff. That's how I see it. They go, I don't think you should be messing around with that thing. So it doesn't offend me if someone says like demons are taunting me, because I went through, they didn't go through an enlightenment process. So it's a little different. They said there wasn't phases but they said I can call it that. I thought I was enlightened, but God says no one's enlightened. So I don't really, because they said that's a belief system, see? And God helps them fulfill that belief system, whatever it is, Christianity, Buddhism, Mormonism, whatever, God will help them. That's why I thought I was I called it a real life fantasy, because I thought I was in a dual world. This one's kind of fun, isn't it? Yeah, God's like, yeah, this one's kind of fun, because they have different voices. Some are more sarcastic, some are. It's not schizophrenia, if you want to know that. Because it's a lot more than just my mind. But I thought I was in like a dual world, and they actually gave evidence that I was battling these demons in this game. They created this game in a mind interface. And then one of them, the political demons were too hard to take down, we'll just say that. But I thought world peace was going to break out. But then they're like, oh no, this woman opened, like the game just continues on. That's why I say it was like the never ending story, because you think you're winning, you think peace on earth, and then a portal opened up into hell or into heaven. Now you got to go back, and they don't like you there anymore. And then like there was all these titles that you could work towards in this life that you'd get in the next world. You'd get all these titles. Can't even remember. Repentant. Like there was all these different titles you could get. And I actually told people, it's funny, when I was in these belief systems, I would tell about it. I'd say, and God would give me psychic information to back it up too. So I'd tell people like, yeah, you're in contention for the warrior king. Yeah. Stuff like that. So when you're in the belief system, it's totally believable. Let's see here. We're almost at 13 minutes. Can you believe it? I've been out Scotland this long. I met Ian McGregor. I loved his movie Trainspotting, and all those other movies like Star Wars he was in. Where hello there. 21 years in a desert, darling, is not so fun. I don't care how many wampons and gungans there are. So I just hope everyone has a great day. That's the thing. I didn't write most of this stuff down. And then God doesn't want me going back looking at what I did write down. Because they said they want me to be a normal person. I go, I don't even, how the heck do I be a normal person? Like, they mean like just stop talking about God and stop doing this. So just be normal. And they said no one really cares to hear about this stuff anyway. There's some kitties. Some kitties over there. Okay, let's say have a great day, everyone. God bless.